Hey everybody, it's Footlocker Friday, and today we're going to the 8-inch scaled Sigma 6 G.I. Joe line. In this particular set, we have right here Snake Eyes, and Snake Eyes has got his mech. Now, a lot of times when they did mechs or suits, and I do seem to be having a piece missing, I can tell right off the bat, but I found this in one of the containers, and a piece that would be missing right here would be the canopy that goes over him. I'm not quite 100% sure what happened to it. This was in the canopy, this was in the mech. It was by itself, basically, is what I'm trying to say. It must have popped off and got lost during all the shuffle. But when this line came out around 2005, I think YouTube was either in its infancy or it had not come out yet. So that's why we don't see a lot of Sigma 6, at least in my opinion, because it's not quite vintage enough for people to care about. As a matter of fact, if it's 2025, that means that anything that's before 2005 is now vintage, and this is right on that borderline. So it's not new, which a lot of people want, and it's not vintage, which is what people want. It's stuck in limbo. But me personally, I've always liked this line. I thought this was a rather large and oversized piece personally, a little bit bigger than I personally like to have for something like this. But I'm a huge mech fan, as you know from all the other videos. All right, so we still got rubber bands attached to him, which is great because it did hold on some things. So I'm going to take him out of the thing, which is probably something I've never done. And I think the reason I never did is because he doesn't have quite the articulation as the regular 8-inch figures, especially at that time. Toward the end, they made these guys, the ninjas, or they made them with double joints. So let's get all the rubber bands off of him. And let's test what kind of articulation he has. And right off the bat, you notice he doesn't even have elbow articulation. So if he wants to check his little comm, he's not going to be able to see it. He's going to have a hard time seeing it. And let's zoom in on that comm to see exactly what it is. The stickers are starting to peel from age and probably from the heat of being outside the building. All right, so one of the things I really didn't understand is why would they cheap out on the articulation when all they had to do is just keep the same mold? It's cheaper to use the same molds, in my opinion. Maybe I'm not, I don't know as much, than to make brand new molds just to make less points of articulation. So he don't have any articulation here. He does have wrist articulation, weirdly enough. His head is about the same as normal articulation as far as I can personally tell. He does have waist. His legs on ball joints. I think that's kind of new. They used to be on a, you can actually pop them off. That is different. I'm pretty sure they're not normally like that. His legs at the knees are pretty much the same. And his ankles, he actually does not have ankles. So he took the ankles out, which I'm okay with that. Now, when they made the super articulated figures, they added swivels and all kinds of crazy stuff with them. They had double jointed elbows, double jointed knees. So around this time, they were also offering him in that double jointed new body type. So let's see, he's got some paint on his visor. Let me zoom in because if I pull him close, it's going to make it blurry. He's got your 3-star logo. He's got 4 ports on the back of his body, 1 port on the front. Now the sun's coming out and it's making it silhouetted. On his leg, he has a port on each side of his thigh, and on the front of his knee, he has ports. Oddly enough, he doesn't really need them. The mech itself, it has your handlebars for him to control it with. Of course, he's got blasters, or maybe they're like for moving things higher and lower. And again, I said that I'm missing a thing that goes right here. I didn't even realize it until before I started filming this. If I find it, I may redo this because I did grab it out of the container that it was in and put it in another container to bring it in because the rest of the stuff in the container was meh. It was mostly clothing. It might have been on the bottom. So for the articulation, it seems like it's got a spring-loaded feature right here. So let's revisit this. I haven't played with this in forever. It feels like it does. Like there's some kind of something that, you know what I'm saying, like it does a punching feature. I can't find any buttons though. This one does not feel like it has it. This one's more free moving. There's no articulation in the arm. Down at the hand, we have the articulation, a swivel and an in and out that mimics his hand on the actual figure. On this side we got red paint. He's also got a gripping hand, which is a nice little feature. He's got a bicep swivel, but he doesn't have an actual elbow joint. All right. Now they kind of took their cues from the what was it called? Well, they've had mechs like this in the past, and they kind of feel like they took their cues from the Exo Squad. Is what it looks like. He has waist articulation, but it is limited, which is a good thing because you don't want too much waist. If you've ever seen Iron Man the movie, I think it was the second movie, whenever the guy got twisted in a 180 spin. It's like, well, he did survive that. There's some stains right here from something. I'm not quite sure. And then we have a weapon right here, which looks like it's going to have to use batteries, which is probably explains the stains. There's probably batteries inside of there. And you probably have to get them out to replace them for photons, which is not going to work. If I got stains there, that means that battery is, All right, so the legs, let's see if I can sit down. Oddly enough, it can sit down. And oddly enough, he's got ankles. There's a retracting thing in the back right there. He could actually do a split. That's crazy. Oops, I'm still in zoom in mode. Okay, so at one time, I bet that there was lights that worked here. And this was at the early days of LEDs, so I'm betting it's LED lights. That was clearly a light. Yeah, that looks like battery corrosion now that I look at it. But I guess I'm looking for any other place. Like, I don't see a compartment for it. All right. So I think it just had a chopping action. Maybe it's a feature. I was hoping it would do something like you could push a button, make it punch. But I don't see that. All right, so that's why I never really took him out of there, because I saw that the arms were not articulated. And I thought, he might as well just be a permanent part of the fixture. Okay, getting him back in is not easy to do. Let's see if I can go a different route. Putting his legs together first. And then maybe moving his legs back. The robot's legs back, I should say, the mech legs. Sliding these feet in there since, oh, they do bend. I guess I should have done that. I was thinking they don't bend at the knees because he didn't bend at the elbows. That's what my brain was thinking. And of course, you could put him back on the handlebars. So let me know if you've ever gotten this one before. I don't know if they made them in other colors for, like, say, the bad guys. Cobra. Uh-oh, there's a cat attacking. Well, he's on a mission to go attack the attack cat. Guys, check it out later. I'll hope to see you guys next week. Let me know if this is one of the things you picked up, or maybe you skipped on it because you saw that his arms weren't articulating. You said, no way. I think I did that at first, and when it went on clearance, I was like, okay. Until next week, make sure you enjoy your Footlocker friends like G.I. Joe, or 12-inch, 9-inch, 8-inch, whatever it is. I would love to hear from you guys.